A very good evening to all of you. And you all have been dealing with nearly the lockdown for nearly 2 months, going to be 2 months soon. And I'm sure all of you have been doing a level best to manage both the ends, that is work from home and work at home. And that is exactly today what we will be talking about, harmony between the personal and professional work during COVID-19. I would rather like to use the word harmony over balance, is because harmony is something that we try and manage both things at its own time, not at the same time. So when we use the word harmony, it often gets associated in our mind with music, where we talk of sur tal, and you'll realize when there is a rhythm, when there is a synchronization, there's always a good music. It sounds good. It generates a lot of peace. So you see this keyboard, or if you have been playing a keyboard or a piano, you'll realize we use both the hands, left and right, and both hands play different notes, and yet they synchronize for a lovely music that we hear. And same thing that we need to do with our personal and professional work life. So the question arises is your life in harmony or in disharmony? So when there is a harmony in your life, there's a lot of joy. And in this word harmony, you will find, if you split it, there's a word harm. So if you fail to strike a harmony, it leads to an element of harm within you. There'll be a lot of conflict within you. Whereas harmony leads to a lot of joy, peace in your mind. So when we ask this, what is the opposite of disharmony? We often say it's harmony. There's a lot of peace. There's a lot of cooperation, peace, compatibility, and so on. Uh, Harmony basically is an ability of an individual to strike a balance, or rather, I'll not say balance. I would say that it's ability to allow one to do both the ends of work at its own given time, not at the same time. It's about realizing one's own limitations and understanding the past obstacles one had for which they could not move on. So if you're able to now understand those limitations and the obstacles that stopped you to strike a harmony, it's a good time to realize that you were probably trying to do both the things at the same time. And it is not possible to do both the things at the same time, doing justice to it. So harmony is basically aligning the congruence, the alignment between your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, the words that you choose to express. And when there's an alignment of all of this, it leads to a lot of inner peace. Outer peace also you will experience, but inner peace is extremely important. So harmony in your thoughts, in your speech, in your deeds, and sometimes you'll realize what you think is not what you speak, and what you speak is not what you do. And sometimes we think and say words, but we are not able to execute it and live up to it because we fail to have the courage to do so. And all of this at the back of our mind leads to a lot of negative thoughts and obstacles. And that stops us from moving on. So you need to have this optimistic attitude and a thought process that will help you to move on smoothly in achieving your goals at both the ends. Let's talk about when creating a harmony, because you're not born with harmony, or there are people around you are not going to make it harmonious for you. You need their help. Cooperation is different, but you have to make an attempt to create a harmony. The first thing begins with which people often talk about, time management, here I will say reorganize your thinking process in terms of time. And the moment you reorganize it, you will be able to be more creative in the way you present your work. So start searching to be, I would say stop searching of a balance. That is not going to help you. Rather live in the present. Be aware of your conscious choices that you make. And for the situation that we are in now, you can make your daily plan priorities or a weekly. You don't need to go 1 month or 2 months or 3 months ahead. So when I'm saying this, it also means that every day we are in this whole setup, living with our family members, uh, connecting with our colleagues, our social life also is there, extended family members are there. So all of this, we are doing it. To a certain extent, we are using the technology. Even if as educators, you are conducting online classes, again, is through technology. You are connecting with umpteen friends, maybe through different platforms, like maybe through Zoom or through Hangouts. So you are constantly using the technology. So you need to know the best management of using this technology so that it doesn't get into too much of your time and space. Now, when you're at home with all your family members, everybody having their own schedule, there has to be some sort of an alignment between you and your family members, that you don't get into each other's path or way, and then everyone feels claustrophobic that they are not getting their own me time. Stress is there because there's a lot of uncertainty that is happening. And if each and every member, I'm not only speaking of the family members, but also with your colleagues, with each and every members with whomever you connect, if you are able to communicate clearly, you will be able to deal with that element of anxiety and stress that you're having. And if you're able to have these set of, I'll say, priorities clear in your head, it becomes easier to bring about on a regular basis, or maybe as and when required, certain changes. And those small changes and adjustments helps you instead of making a complete adjustment at one go. Managing your time, as I said, in terms of your priorities is extremely important. So live in harmony is not you need to have a solid purpose or a reason. You can just live in harmony and feel good about it for no reason. So this shift from your personal to professional work, or this mode, has to be very effortless. That is, when you are focusing on one particular work, as say you're focusing on your professional work, you have a certain meeting or work or or a class that you're taking, focus on that. Do justice to that. Your other set of work, you will get time for it. And when you do that set of work, focus on that work. You don't need to get into both the set of work at the same time and then get stressed out about not being able to do that work. Therefore, I say, be in the present, make conscious decisions in knowing what you want to do and when you want to do, and articulate your thinking. It's just not about loud thinking in your head, but when I'm saying articulate your thinking, it also means that communicate clearly to the members with whom you interact. If you assume that they understand what what you're thinking and what you're feeling without your expression, you're probably making a mistake. And if you need to say it across on a daily basis, so be it. But communicate what you think and what you feel. So articulate your thought process to your members with whom you interact. Get into the habit of, the moment you are into the work zone, dress up, have a fixed work stay place, and that will set the mood in you. Like, we do not uh, carry our kitchen utensils and decide to cook in the bedroom just because we are bored to cook in the kitchen. We don't do that. We don't bring a mattress to the kitchen to sleep because we are bored of sleeping in the bedroom. Same way in the same premises that you have been living in for since the lockdown, you have to create a special place in your house which would be your workstation, that whenever you enter into that or sit in that corner, you get into the mood that yes, now I have to be focused on the work, and once I'm done with it, I move out of that and you get into your other aspects what needs to be done. So you have to find ways and means of how you can switch off, take breaks, and move from one work to another work. In case if you are having this conflict of moving from one mode to another mode, is probably an indication that there is some element of work inefficiency. Identify those work inefficiency. And if you are able to identify that, you'll be able to correct it. And if you're able to correct it, you'll gradually move with small adjustment and changes, and it works out fine. The situation that we all are in, we all understand, is pretty much unpredictable, unreasonable, uncontrollable. And all of this are outside forces which is influencing us and our life. It depends on us how much of we focus on in putting in our time and energy in thinking about it on these external forces for which we have no control over. They are going to be there and it is going to influence us. But we need to know how to prioritize our time. We need to know what is important to do in our professional work today at this time, what is important to do about our personal work today and at this time, irrespective of the outside forces that is happening. So you realize that all of this that we are talking of, you cannot win. Trying to switch, when I'm saying switching your mode effortlessly from personal to professional or focusing on one thing at a time, there's nothing about winning or losing. You neither can win nor you can lose, and neither you can quit. So what do you do? If you're quitting, then there's no harmony. Then what do? You cannot win, you cannot lose, you cannot quit. So the only option that you have is continue playing this game, because that is the only thing that will keep you moving, and that is what will help you to strike a harmony. So when there is a discrepancy, or when there's this conflict of when you're totally overwhelmed with all of these outside forces, negative forces that is happening around, in the past few days, you may have felt agitated, withdrawn, helpless, sometimes hopeless, sometimes you feel you're not yourself, and sometimes you want to put in time for yourself and you realize you're not getting that time to give time to yourself, that me time is sort of lacking. Now, all of this results in stress, and this stress is what? Unproductive stress. And when I'm saying unproductive stress, it is all about your response to the situation, external forces, the danger that all of us perceive. Sometimes worrying about forces which are outside us, becoming pretty much emotional about it. Earlier, we had this environmental stress of air pollution, noise pollution, commuting hazards. Now it is all about crowding, maintaining that social distance. And all of it together can lead to fatigue. Sometimes being at home, you are not traveling. Earlier, how much you would have probably complained that today there is a traffic jam, today there's a bus strike, an auto strike, or a train derailment, there's potholes and heavy rain, for umpteen reasons for which you could not reach your workplace. And then once you're at a workplace, you are all in a hurry to reach back home. You see, this movement from one place to another place is to sometimes come as a break in your mind to get diverted. Now you do not have any of those things. You're all in one place. So your traveling time has been taken care of. But yet you'll find you feel fatigue, you feel burnout, you feel restless, because you have the freedom to do something within your house, but yet you do not have the freedom to function the way you want to, like stepping out, doing other things, having a diversions in your thought process. So these are challenges that we all of us are facing, and that's where it comes, striking a harmony between both the ends that we are trying to work on. So the best possible way is to create a vision of possibilities. So that's where I say of being optimistic, thinking in a more positive way. Uh, Also about earlier, you probably decided on doing something in the present based on your past experiences or the failures that you had. Now it is better that we need to base our present based on envisioning the future, what it would be, how we can accomplish certain things in the future, because it's going to be a little different than what we did in the past. Uh, you have also to learn to understand that there's a appreciate your own uniqueness, and also learn to protect your own time. So when we are saying appreciate your own uniqueness, is all about valuing yourself, that you do have an ability to contribute in a very valuable way to whatever work you are currently doing. It's just not about your effort, but your effort and expertise needs to be in use. And change is bound to happen, but there needs to be an element of stability also in that. When I say protect your time, and protect your time is all about you not sabotaging your own potential, your performances. You have the ability to perform in a certain given period of time. And the situation that we are in all now, you have to, as I said earlier, you have to rethink and reorganize your time, how you can manage your time. And within that time, where, when, and what needs to be done. So if you keep waiting for the situation to improve, you are wasting your present. As I said, you need to be conscious of your choices and be in the present. So do not keep waiting for the situation to improve, because we really don't know what improvement are we looking at, because they are all external forces. So you need to do your part of making the best use of your time on hand and being in the present. So work with your own routine on a daily basis. As I said, make certain changes here and there as and when you need it. Uh, so when you're dealing with your all of this, you realize that harmony, as I said earlier, creating harmony also means when there's a harmony, you grow. So one, you need to prioritize between your personal and your professional. Then comes your attitude, and now in your attitude is your spontaneity and structure, and the goals, that is results and relationship. So when we are talking of personal and professional, it's how do you optimize your day on a daily basis? What is something that you would like it? Uh, every day is unique and opportunities are always there. Is how efficiently you want to, uh, or rather, how would you like to make this day that you have on hand and your time on hand to make it more productive? So know yourself well with your family members, their schedule, be aware of your schedule and your family members' schedule, how they would like things to happen. Uh, if you are more disciplined on a daily basis, it helps you to have more control over your impulses too. So you need to analyze your time and how well you spend this time. And that's where you will be able to bring about a harmony between your personal and professional. Uh, Life is dynamic and it's not static. So Every day could be a new day. Every day could be something very interesting. So your priorities must also be based on something which is urgent versus important. So when we are talking of urgent versus important, uh, every task that you have or any activity that you do, try and see, understand the task or try and put it the priority basis. You do it whether this task that you have to do is urgent or an important. So it could be important but not very urgent. That is, you need to decide as to when you want to do it. But whenever you do it carefully. But suppose the task is urgent, but it is not very important. So then you need to delegate. Either you do this work quickly or you need to delegate this task to somebody else so that the work can be done. Because urgent always works on timeline. Whereas if the task is neither urgent nor important, and you are putting in too much of your time then sitting and thinking about it, brooding about it, see the way you are not utilizing your present. So that task is something that can be done later. But instead of focusing on something which is urgent and important, you are focusing on something which is not urgent and important. That's where you probably have gone wrong with your prioritization, with your time, reorganizing your time and your scheduling of work. And that will result in a lot of negative feelings, your anxiety, your coordination with other members with whom you are interacting on a particular task. It goes for a complete toss on that front. Now, if the task you have on hand is both urgent as well as important, then you need to address it immediately. It is important and you need to do it in such a way that it is done thoroughly. You are not repeating that task again. Now let's come back to attitude. So the structure and spontaneity. Every activity, everything that we do needs to have a structure. Like your syllabus has a structure. Now, if you are told, go to the class and teach so and so year student. Now, if the topic is not given, if a structure is not given, what do you teach? However spontaneous you are, you'll really not know from where to start and where to end. So spontaneity is a part, functions within that structure. The structure needs to be there. But if you're focusing so much on the structure, that structure becomes the end and not the means, then spontaneity is out of it. So you need to have a structure. Within that structure, you need to have the spontaneity to do it. So you cannot say, I can only have either the structure or the spontaneity, or I'm very spontaneous and I cannot function in a structure. You need something to have a clarity in your thought, and therefore structure is important. Now, the structure and spontaneity both are required to achieve a goal. What is this goal? What is the purpose of this goal? To achieve it, to get it there. And one, you want to get it there. Secondly, you enjoy the journey of getting it there. Now, you can't say, I just want to get it there, forget the journey. You need to have both again. So enjoy the journey of getting it at the end result of achieving that goal within the structure and the spontaneity. Now, doesn't mean that if you have a structure, there won't be any obstacles. There won't be any struggles. There won't be any challenges. These are bound to happen. And if you say these are happening, so I cannot proceed, I quit. As I said earlier, you cannot quit. You cannot win, you cannot lose, you cannot quit. You have to play it. So how do you then move on? You'll say, I cannot do it. I cannot be a very optimistic this day. The only way you can look at it is treat these obstacles as or these interruptions as a guest. So they come, they trouble for some time, and they may be those guests who are not very happy-go-lucky types. So they can disturb you for some time and they leave. But if you focus too much on those interruptions, it'll take away your time of having that peace in working, striking that harmony. So challenges again helps you to grow. So if you are able to understand that these challenges that I am facing right now, either particular obstacles that you are having or a struggle that you're facing, as I said earlier, identify those inefficiencies and find a way how you can rethink your whole process of making small adjustment here and there that will help you to move on. Now, harmony between your results and your relationships. The schedule part of it, there are two aspects of it. One, it could be the relational, and the other, it could be the result oriented. So you can't say that I just want result, forget what relationships I hold with people. You need to balance both. So while you're balancing, you need to have a harmony between both. And while you're trying to have the harmony between both, the thought process that goes on in your mind is between the logic and the intuitive. So you need to decide when to be intuitive and when to be logical. At this point, I will say that love people and you use things. Don't interchange it. If you say, I love a swimming pool and I will use so-and-so person to achieve my goal, it doesn't work. You use a swimming pool. That's the thing, you use a swimming pool, but you value and you love people with whom you are interacting. So when I say that, your priorities, your attitudes, your goals, all this helps you in your growth. This is what, when we talk of harmony, is about the 5 balls of life. Now, the 5 balls of life, the red one is the rubber ball. So what happens when you play with a ball? If a rubber ball falls, it bounces back, you hold it. But the other balls are all glass balls. Once it shatters, it breaks, there's a crack. So your profession or your career is more like that rubber ball. It'll bounce back. But your personal part, be it your family, yourself, your health, your family, your spiritual, every aspect of it is very, very delicate. They're glass balls that needs to be nurtured. You cannot ignore them. That needs to be nurtured. And you have so many of them to nurture together, because once it falls, the shattering and the break will actually remain with you for years to come. You may forgive, but you may not be able to forget it. So remember that it is always good to understand which aspect currently right now that you are dealing with, you need to give importance to. So always decide your priorities based on your important and urgent. So who is doing all of this? You yourself. And as I said earlier, we have external forces that we are living with right now. At the same time, you need to understand yourself well, because to manage those 5 balls, somebody else cannot do it for you. You have to learn to manage it. And to learn to manage it, you'll say, what's the big deal? I know what I need to do. But do you really know yourself well enough to manage those? Therefore, try and understand the CIC. CIC is circle of control, circle of influence, and circle of concern. When I'm talking of control, it is your core, that is you, your part, your attitude, your responses, your thought processes, what you respect, what you values, what are your principles. You have total control over that. Focus on that. Try and understand every aspect of it. Not that somebody understands what you're thinking and what your values are and what your attitudes are. And here you probably are least aware of your own attitudes. Your circle of influence is more about your ability, one, to influence others and also influence yourself. Your commitments, your productivity at work, how you interact with others. And circle of concern is everything else, outside external forces for which you have less control of, like the economy, the world peace, the current situation that we are going through, or the weather, it can be everybody's concerns. So your priorities needs to be understood and well placed, whether it is a circle of concern, influence, or control. And if you're putting too much time on the area of concern, you're losing out on yourself a circle of control, and you will lose out on striking a harmony between the two ends of work and life. So if you are somewhere finding it, there is a conflict, there's a discrepancy, there's somewhere you are not able to balance both the ends, maybe rethink the CIC. You probably are giving too much of importance to external forces for which you have less control and influence over. Look into yourself first. Other members, as I said, members could be both your family members, social members, your professional members. Other members will be there to cooperate, contribute. For that, you need to communicate with them. And to communicate what exactly you want, you need to know what you have within yourself and what would you like. If that clarity of thought is not there within you, you will find it very difficult to strike this harmony. So therefore, it's always good to strive towards finding a harmony in this disharmony setup. Just because there's a disharmony doesn't mean you cannot strike a harmony. We can always find harmony even in any circumstances that we are in. For that, have faith and belief in yourself, and you will be able to do a good job for yourself of striking a harmonious relationship or between your personal and your professional work life during this difficult situation that we all of us are going through. Thank you.